They brought back Lanturn in the Indigo Disc DLC, and although he doesn't come with any significant buffs, we still love to see the only water and electric type Pokemon return. With Lanturn having two super good abilities being water or Volt Absorb, you can catch a lot of low tier threats like Jolteon or Lapras off guard. In Gen 9, they also buffed Lanturn's other ability, Illuminate, which now makes it where the user's accuracy can't be lowered. Now, although Lanturn is a one-trick pony, there is still some fun sets you can run. My personal favorite is the bulky Assault Vest set. With Lanturn having an insane base 125 HP stat, invest the other EVs into either defenses or special attack and slap on Scald for burn and stab, Volt Switch for switching initiative, Ice Beam for ground and grass coverage, and last but not least, Thunderbolt to hit hard. Stick around until the end because in today's battle, Lanturn is here to show off how good it actually is. Welcome back everyone to another live Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. How the heck are y'all doing today? Listen man, today we have an amazing NU Wi-Fi battle with our Assault Vest Lanturn team. Be sure to head into the description below and join the Discord for a chance to take me on in a battle. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We have a goal of 100 likes on today's video, so help us out by leaving a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's go jump into the team preview. Alright, so as you guys can see on your screen, today we're going to be taking on Chris, aka Pokemaster88 in the Battle Hub Discord in a nice and powerful NU mixed Wi-Fi battle here in the Indigo Disc DLC. And the reason why I say mix is because Sceptile, I believe, is PU, but today Chris is going to be bringing a pretty solid team of Hisuian Electrode, Flygon, Colossal, the Grafai, a Poliwrath, and a Sceptile. Today we're going to be bringing our Duraludon team that we did build. Duraludon, I feel like, got the biggest buff in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but we have Gramble right behind him, who's going to be a bulk up set. We have Espeon, who's going to have Magic Bounce, as well as Choice Specs, as well as Trick. We have Choice Scarf, Goggle McGee, aka Flygon. We have the Oricorio with some setup, and then last but not least, we have Terra Water Assault Vest Lanturn. So leads for my opponent. They definitely could lead with Grafai. Grafai could definitely be a pretty insane lead. So I'm gonna lead off with Espeon, just because if they lead Grafai, we can at least Magic Bounce some stuff away, especially if they want to do some shenanigans. And on top of that, we can at least trick something, maybe the Poliwrath or the Sceptile, or maybe even Flygon some choice specs. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lock in, and without further ado, let's go and jump into the Wi-Fi battle against Chris. Alright, so Chris is going to lead off with that Grafai like we predicted. That is super nice. So, let's see what we can do. Looking at Chris's team, I did take a picture down here, so if you see me obviously looking down here, you know there's a picture of his team. He could probably swap in... He actually doesn't really have a big swap into the Psychic, to be honest. Like, I don't see any swap onto a Choice Spec Psychic. And I don't know if I outspeed this thing. I know this thing gets Prankster, but the good thing is if it's like Swagger or something, the Swagger's gonna bounce right back. Unfortunately, we're gonna give this thing a huge boost, but let's see if we outspeed Grafai. That's the only thing I don't know if I outspeed. Grafai has a base 110 speed, so it's gonna be a speed tie, and you know what? I'm going for the Psychic. We land the Psychic, baby, let's go. Is this gonna be Focus Sashed? It's not Focus Sash. Espeon just one-shots the Grafai. That is super nice. Exactly. With Espeon, you kind of have to be a little cautious, especially with Magic Bounce, because I'm not gonna lie, I learned that Encore goes against Magic Bounce. Just everything about Magic Bounce is insanely tough to me. But you know what? That's a good start for us. Okay, so here comes Sceptile. Sceptile could be a little bit scary, especially if this thing is a Swords Dance set. I could go to Gramble. Gramble won't be a bad play, because if we do go into Gramble, we can get the Intimidate off, and if we get an Intimidate off, at least the setup will be a little bit useless. But if it's a Mirror Herb one, that's where things could get a little bit crazy. If I'm correct, these things usually run Acrobatics, Swords Dance, Earthquake, and Leaf Blade, so maybe Salsa wouldn't be a bad play. But you know what? I want to go for the -1. I want to see what kind of Sceptile we're working with. And on top of that, if we could actually get Gramble a +1, bro, I'm not going to lie. There's not really a lot on his team that could take on a +1. Maybe what would be a little scary is possibly seeing a burn on the Grimmsnarl. But we do see a Leaf Blade, which is super nice because we at least have a -1 on this thing. He could go for a Swords Dance, which would be a little scary, especially on top of a crit. Would be a little scary. But you know what? I'm willing to go for the bulk up here. He is going to Swords Dance like we predicted. That is very scary. That is actually very scary. And on top of that, if he's Mirror Herb, oh, I'm so screwed if that's Mirror Herb. I am so screwed. Please don't be Mirror Herb. Okay, well, we don't see Mirror Herb because obviously leftovers popped off. So that's good at least. My only beef about a lot of this is he's at +1 attack now. So I'm gonna go for a Play Rough here. I think a Play Rough would be at least good, do a good enough amount of damage. He doesn't get a crit, super nice. We get the Play Rough off. Oh, and that's almost gonna take out the Sceptile. Let's go. You love to see it. Bramble's going extra crazy. Now, does he preserve Sceptile? I don't see him doing that. So, going off of that information that I just talked to myself about, because I think it's proven facts that he doesn't stay in, we could in fact go for a close combat. I'm actually gonna go for an Earthquake on the off chance he swaps out. He's gonna go for the Leaf Blade, gonna go for the crit, doesn't get the crit. We get an Earthquake off, and that should take out Sceptile. That is one huge threat out of the way, especially if it's an unburdened boosted one. We do get a crit ourselves, so you know what's kind of funny is he doesn't get a crit on the high crit chance of Leaf Blade, while we get a crit on the random Earthquake. You know what? I love to see it. So Gramble putting in a lot of work right now. I could preserve Gramble for Intimidate user, especially on like a Flygon or something, or maybe like a Poliwrath. That would be nice, but if it is going to be... All right, so it is going to be Flygon. That's where things can get a little scary. Okay, so I don't really have a lot of switches, to be quite frank with you. And if this thing is a Dragon Dance set, I could be a little screwed. He's not gonna go for a Dragon Claw. I feel like he's gonna go for either a U-turn on the off chance it keep him around, or he's gonna go for Earthquake to take me out. So you know what? I'm willing to risk it and go to Salsa. Salsa wouldn't be a bad switch here, just because if he does go for the Earthquake, and again, Salsa's not really putting in the greatest. I guess he's putting in a decent matchup, especially if we Terra with him. So Salsa, she looking like a good dancing girl. Does go for that Earthquake. Perfect. Look at Salsa girl. She out here doing her thing, going crazy. So now, let's see. I'm a little terrified of a Stone Edge. That's my beef, is I'm a little terrified of a Stone Edge. But if I do get one Quiver Dance off, we probably don't even outspeed, to be honest, if we do get a Quiver Dance off. This one's kind of tough because I do want to go for the Quiver Dance. I just don't know if I can live. You know what? Let's swap into Gramble. Let's get this thing -1, and then if he goes for a U-turn, obviously, we do get some swap initiative. And then honestly, if we can actually get ourselves into Duraludon, we actually can have a super good matchup. So we do get the Intimidate off here. Are they going to go for... They're going to Terra here. Are they going to be Terra Rock? I don't know what Terra they go for. They're going to go Terra Stellar. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. They do go for the Outrage. Perfect. Okay. So that's actually not that bad. The only thing is I don't know if Gramble has enough health to live anything. I'm going to go for the Play Rough on the off chance he goes for another Outrage, predicting me to switch into Oricorio. That would actually be pretty insane if we can get that read. He is -1 right now, so maybe Earthquake's not going to do as much. He does go for the Earthquake. It is going to be extra stab, though, from the Terra, so that might take us out. Unfortunately, it does take us out. Gramble, you did work, brother. You did the work. Okay, so Terra Stellar Flygon. It is Life Orb, so that's actually really good to know. That's really good to know. So I could go into Espeon, and I could get a huge Alluring Voice off. That's really tempting. I'm going to do that. I really like that play. Because then he really doesn't have any swaps, because especially with Grafaiai and Sceptile being gone, I think Alluring Voice does a lot of work here. So you know what? We're choice specs. Alluring Voice, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. It's going to be nice. It's base 70 power. I'm choice specs. It's going to do, it should do a little damage. Honestly, I maybe should have Terra'd with Espeon, to be honest, because then I would have been Terra Fairy just in case if we went for Outrage. But you know what? I'm willing it. I'm risking it for the biscuit. It's at -1. I think we can live something. Okay, so Chris is going to opt to keep the Flygon around. That's good to know. They're going to go into Colossal. Colossal is so scary. Colossal is actually scary, but the best part is we at least get an Alluring Voice off. That's going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing. But at least we do know that Flygon is Life Orb instead of Specs. So pretty good to know. I'm going to go to Rock Bottom, a.k.a. I'm going into the Lanturn. If you get the reference, you know what I'm talking about. So Rock Bottom going to come in. Nice little SpongeBob reference. Shiny Lanturn, in fact. So they're going to go for the Scald. That's not going to do anything. Even if they get a burn, whatever, which they don't. Super nice. Now, I kind of want to go for a Scald myself because he doesn't have a lot that wants to take a Scald. But, so there's two things I could do. I could go for the Scald, and a Scald would do a decent amount. But if he's Steam Engine, he's going to get +6. On top of that, making a prediction, let's go for a Scald. Let's go for a Scald. I don't think he's going to stay. No, he stayed in. Okay, so Scald's going to take out the Colossal. Perfect. Lanturn going crazy. Now, he does still have Flygon in the back, and Flygon could be a nuisance, bro. Flygon could be a nuisance. But you know what? I'm willing to Terra my Lanturn here into Terra Water if Flygon does come back out. But Outrage could come, which could get a little scary. I don't see him going Poliwrath just because a Thunderbolt would do a lot of damage. There's going to be the Flygon. Okay. So, now that Colossal's gone, I'm going to Ice Beam on the off chance I live something. They're going to Dragon Dance. Ooh, that's a little scary. That is 10 times scary. Let's see how much this Ice Beam's going to do. And it's going to one-shot. Lanturn is going crazy right now. What is going on? Okay, Lanturn's doing his thing, man. I guess it's 4 times effective, so I guess it's not really a shocker. But honestly, kind of would have maybe expected it. So they're going to go into Electrode now, which is actually really fine with me because unless they're going for Chloroblast or some kind of grass move, they're not going to be able to one-shot me. I do want to keep my Lanturn around. I definitely want to keep my Lanturn around. So let's go into... I don't see him going for an electric type of move. But then again, if I do, I'm going to go into Salsa. I'm going to expect a grass type move, especially with us having Volt Absorb. I definitely don't want to... I don't want to over-predict here. So Salsa is going to be a good matchup. If they go for an electric type move, whatever. We're not going to really be losing much. They are going to go for the Volt Switch. Okay. That's good to know. That's very good to know. Okay, so I should have actually stayed in with Lanturn. But the best part is at least I can go into Lanturn gear now. And Lanturn can just at least just straight up go for a Thunderbolt, have not a worry in the world, and then if he stays in Electrode, we can easily go for the Ice Beam because again, looking at I'm pretty sure I am Electric Absorb, or yeah, Volt Absorb. Okay, so you know what? I kind of want to keep this around, and then if he thinks I'm Water Absorb, we can't go for a Liquidation. So let's go for a Thunderbolt here. Let's go for a Thunderbolt. They're gonna go for the knockoff. That's gonna knock off the Assault Vest. Huge crit. That stinks. But wow. Oh, but we get the Paralysis. Okay, that's really good for us. That's really good for us. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. I want to keep this guy around. We get a Volt Switch off. That's going to do a decent amount of damage. Nothing insane. The best part is he can't Belly Drum from this range if he is Belly Drum. But it's looking to me that he's Assault Vest. That's Assault Vest if I've ever seen it. So... let's go into Duraludon here. I don't see him going for another knockoff. I maybe see him going for a fighting type move, but I'm defensive Duraludon. They're going to go for the Drain Punch. Drain Punch not going to do a whole lot. And on top of that, I think I just go for an Iron Defense now. I think Iron Defense is probably my best play. Ooh, I'm going to Terra Water, actually. Ooh, do I Terra Water, though? If I Terra Water here... what am I really solving? I'm going to get a more defensive typing. He's probably going to go for the knockoff. I'm willing to make this trade just because I'm willing to make this trade just because we can get a huge body press off. And then obviously we can just go right into the... Actually, I might make the swap if he goes into Electrode next turn. I might make the play of going into Electrode next turn if he does make the swap. And then that way, if he goes for a... Yeah, see, Knockoff's not going to do a thing to us. Knockoff's not going to do a thing. Actually, do I just body press here? I'm going to body press. I'm going to body press. We do get the body press off. Perfect. And that's going to take out Poliwrath. Duraludon kind of going crazy. Now, my only beef is, do I make the prediction? I mean, I guess I have Espeon. I do have Espeon. Actually, I have Choice Scarf Flygon too. What am I tripping about, bro? So you know what? Let's go into Rock Bottom the Lanturn. If we go into Rock Bottom the Lanturn, we can easily... just hopefully Volt Absorb here. Hopefully he doesn't have Chloroblast or something. I'm praying that he goes for an Electric type move. Because if he goes for an Electric type move, we can easily Volt Absorb that, get the health back, and then easily hit this thing with an Ice Beam. Leaf Storm, no! Okay, well, Lanturn, you did your thing. I'm proud of you. And then now I can just go into Flygon, hit the Yui, hit the U-turn, and then get this thing out of here. So Flygon, come on out, baby. You're looking extra special with those goggles on, Mr. Goggle McGee. And then now I just go for this U-turn, hit my little damage. He's at minus attacks, so, or minus special attacks. So I think we just got to keep playing him. You know, we just got to keep tickling under. You know, just keep going and go crazy. I'm gonna go into Sakura now. Sakura seems like a good play. And then I don't want to trick this thing with Choice Specs. I do not want to trick this thing with Choice Specs. They're going to go for the Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm's going to do about half, which is fine because now he's at -4. And then all we got to do now is actually just go for the Psychic and win the game. So, super nice. Please don't get a crit. Does not get a crit. Espeon coming clutch. And now he's at -6. So that's pretty insane. Imagine if they gave Electrode Contrary. Oh, that'd be so insane. So that's going to be GG's Chris. Super fun match. Lanturn put in the work. I did not expect Lanturn to get 2 kills, but that's going to be GG. Super fun. If you guys do want to use the team, rental code right here. Here is going to be the rental code for the team we used in today's Wi-Fi battle. The Pokepaste will be in the description as well. Don't forget to leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Pokemon battles, and let me know in the comments of some Pokemon you want to see us build a team around. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and start working on the next set of Wi-Fi battles. So please have yourselves a great morning, night, evening, day, wherever you're at, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.